Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video where we talk about some newly shown Hot Toys figures. And this time we have a 1/4 scale Mandalorian figure. There's a standard version, there's a deluxe version, and then there's what I'm going to call an accessory version, which is just where you basically just get an accessory from this set. So we'll talk about them all, go over the figure, go over the different versions, and yeah, so very excited. Season 2 just started, last Friday was the first episode, and it was a damn good one. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely go watch it. Really good, and a solid time too. My biggest complaint about the first season was that the episodes were extremely short, and although the quality of the films looked cinematic, the length felt very sitcom-like. So very happy to get a nice lengthy episode. It was a great episode, watched it a couple times, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing all the merchandise. And Hot Toys has now released a new Mandalorian figure. So let's get into it. So starting off just with the figure itself, this is a quarter scale, of course, because they do have another version of this coming out in 1/6 scale. Quarter scale is something that they do, just not as often as a 6 scale, but they do have a pretty, at this point, lengthy line of quarter scale figures. Overall, I think that the figure looks quite nice. One little detail there is with the helmet, you get the little light on the side, which is kind of impressive, a small detail that makes the quarter scale a little bit more worth having, because they can pay attention to some of those smaller details that even the 6 scale wouldn't. The overall armor looks quite good, costume looks nice. The only thing is, and it might just be the where they're taking these photos, but the armor on him doesn't look quite as shiny as the armor on the 1/6 scale. Now, once they both come out and we see him in person, that might not be the case, but in these images, it looks silver for sure, but it doesn't have like that chrome type of look that I think that the 1/6 scale version looks like it has, which I think is slightly more accurate. Nonetheless, though, it still looks quite good. Weathering looks really nice on it. This little knee pad has a more bluish look than I think it should have. I think that it should have like a bit of a bluish tint maybe, and I think that they might just try to be matching kind of the heated up version of the metal, but that blue does stick out as a bit of a, oh, that's strange to me, but it's not terrible. The overall, what you get with the just the standard release is you do get Baby Yoda, so you get a Baby Yoda figure, comes with his little paw, you get a couple heads, some hands, his necklace, the little control kind of a knob that he gives them, so you get those accessories for Baby Yoda. And on the deluxe version, the deluxe is this, it's the base. So I'll talk about the base once we can get a really solid photo of it, but overall, I think that the standard version is pretty solid. I think you should still get a lot with it, even just the standard. So just to go over a few of what you get. So with the standard version, of course, you get the Baby Yoda and all of his accessories. With Mando, you get an interchangeable light for his helmet. You get his rifle, his blaster. You get a flame accessory, a dagger, shooting a grappling hook. You get some smaller devices here, the piece that he's paid with that, gets his shoulder armor. I wish he came with a few more of these. A little tracker for Baby Yoda, things like that. Set of hands. He comes with a jetpack, of course. So you get a decent amount with the quarter scale, just standard version. But with the deluxe, you get the base, too. So the base, I have mixed feelings about it. I think it's it looks strange. Like, I like the idea of it a lot. So I like the fact that you get, like, the big gun. I think that's cool. But I think that the base itself, one thing that they do that's annoying to me is that with these quarter scale figures, they like to give you, like, a really raised bases. And they usually, like, put even other characters at the bottom, which is exactly what they did here. But the top platform is just so small. They've done this with Iron Man figures, too, in this scale, where the top portion of the base just doesn't have a whole lot of room on it. So I wish that they expanded the base outwards more and not just high, because it's high, which is nice, but it's so thin at the top. At the bottom, you have the kind of bounty hunter symbol there. On the left, you have a portion of IG-11, obviously from the finale where he's melted down and blown up. And then you have the Mandalorian helmet on the other side. I like that it looks like they are melting. Like I think that there's lights at the bottom too that help with that effect, but it gives it a nice look. So I like the accessories at the bottom, but it does look a little bit busy. When I first took a look at this base, it looked just random. Like it had a lot of random stuff just thrown on it. And you know, once you look for a little bit longer, you can make out what you're looking at. But it does look like a mishmash of metal things. Which, you know, it's not a very attractive base in my opinion. And then I think function-wise, the top portion is so small, it's not super great. The gun, I think, is a cool idea, but it's so large and it's hooked up to a hose, it's just going to be a little annoying to get him to hold it and look natural holding it. Not to mention, it's not like a specifically iconic look for this Mandalorian, or for the Mandalorian here. So, like, I don't think many people would want to display him with it, so then it just becomes kind of something that's in the way at a certain point. So the base, I like some of the ideas with it, but overall I don't think that it's great. I think that it doesn't, it's not very cohesive, which is unfortunate. So if I was going to get this, and I don't collect quarter scale, so I don't plan to, but if I were to get it, I'd just go with the standard version, because they do give you the option for both. You can get the deluxe at $655, standard at $545, both very expensive, but and $110 extra for the base, I don't think is worth it. I don't, you know, the base, even if the base was really nice, that's quite a big upcharge just for that base, and especially since I don't think that the base is that great, I would definitely recommend just getting the standard version. One thing that they offer, which is cool, is an option just to get Baby Yoda. So that's kind of nice, but it's a little pricey. 1:4 scale. You can kind of see the scale in a person's hand, kind of relative to a person, and that's quite small. Like it's almost something that could be an accessory with a 1:6 scale figure too. It's a very small piece. So for $175, it does seem overpriced to me. You get a couple head sculpts, you get the pod, and then some very small accessories. But other than that, that's all you get. So I wouldn't, because I don't think that there's even a base with it. Let me check. I don't even think that they have like one of those shots of everything that you get with it, because there's just not a whole lot. Yeah, so oh, here we go. Oh, so he does come with a base. It's just your standard base, though. So he doesn't come with a whole lot. I think that is overpriced. I think something more in the range of $120, that would be pretty solid. I think people would really go crazy for that. But $175 does seem like a bit much. If you're going to spend that much on it already, might as well just spend the extra few hundred and get the whole set, I think. Overall, it looks great, though. I think that it looks like a really cool figure. The deluxe is a little disappointing in my mind, but the figure himself and what he comes with accessory-wise is really spot on. A head sculpt for the actor underneath, I think, would be really cool, too. It's something that I could see them wanting to, like, wait for another version, but with 1:4 scale figures, they typically don't do multiple versions of the same character, so, you know, who knows if they ever will, but I think that it would have been really nice to give you a head sculpt. Nonetheless, though, it looks like a solid figure, and again, my recommendation, get the standard version if you're interested in this. But there you go, that's my thoughts on the new Hot Toys 1:4 scale Mandalorian and Baby Yoda figure, or the child figure. Let me know what you guys think of it, and thanks so much for watching.